from Horseradish by Lemony Snicket. Everyone should be able to do one card trick, tell 2 jokes, and recite 3 poems, in case they are ever trapped in an elevator.
Welcome back to the Reading Room Ruffians, your favorite library podcast. Our Supreme Overlord Carla and Zach the Boy Wonder are bringing us curiosities today on the questions no one asked out loud, but they brought the answers today. My BFF Ariel and I will add backup vocals and dance moves you wish you could see. Do 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 do.
We're going to get copyright struck from Doug.
It wasn't 30 seconds. We are recording here at our library in Jackson County, West Virginia, and Zach is recording from Seattle, Washington. Coming up in our libraries, we have Denim Crafts for Adults in Ravenswood, and that'll be on August 6th at 6 p.m. We will then have a movie club starting in Ripley on August 8th at 6 p.m. And I think they're going to watch, like every time they meet, they're going to watch a new movie and then discuss it.
I think this one is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Ooh, nice. And then we will have Dolly Day in Ripley, and that'll be on August 9th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that'll be super fun. I won't be here for it, though. I know. I didn't know it was going to be then. Anyway.
You'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I will.
Much needed rest.
Yeah. But okay, so yeah, that was what we have coming up, and that'll actually all be this week for you guys. So you better get out there and do all the things, or else. I don't know what, because I'll be in New York, but yeah. Okay, but you guys can start now.
Okay.
Fantastic. You can go first if you want to.
Okay, as I guess a librarian, my first choice was to find the meanings behind some of the nursery rhymes, because you say them, you repeat them, and it makes absolutely no sense to us now. So I have the true stories and meanings behind 9 nursery rhymes and lullabies. And first I want to go over what lullaby means. It's derived from Jewish folklore, and it means Lilith-a-bye, which translates to English to Lilith, go away.
Oh,
yeah. Do you know who Lilith was?
Yeah.
Wow. To Jewish folklore, she was a she-demon and was Adam's first wife before Eve. And they would use lullabies to protect their children from her, because they would think she would come and steal their children and kill them.
Well, I learned something today.
Yeah. Yeah. So
spooky.
So gives you a whole new meaning.
I feel like the way lullabies put me to sleep, I feel like this went wrong, and she can easily steal us away.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's like Monster on the Bedrolls. If you're under your blankets, you're fine. She can't get you.
That's right. As long as nothing.
Except they have that special suit that Zach told me about as a child that I lost sleep for. Don't whatever me.
Okay, moving right along. We're going to go 3 blind mice. I mean, we all know this one. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all ran away from the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did you ever see such a thing in your life as 3 blind mice? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
No, and also I don't remember it going that way.
You don't remember it?
No.
How do you remember
most
it going?
of them are very dark, like
originally. Not past them running. I don't remember anything past them running.
Oh, yeah. She cut off their tails with a cart.
Yeah, I knew that.
She was absolutely slow on the swing.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually do know the meanings of some of the nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
So.
And this one, the farmer's wife, refers to Queen Mary I, otherwise known as Bloody Mary. And there's another one about her later, too, who burned hundreds of Protestants, heretics, in Tudor England. And the 3 blind mice were the 3 noblemen who were convicted of plotting against her. And as a result, were burned alive at the stake.
Huh.
You know what?
I didn't say, she burnt the mice. I don't know. But,
yeah. Well, she cut off their tails as they ran away. So, yeah.
Good for her.
Shame
Taking care of the problem.
No,
we like strong women.
She was a piece of work. I think you guys all know the one, Ring Around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket full of posies.
Man, that one's
ashes,
dark.
ashes, we all fall down. Yeah, this one's based on the Black Death.
Yeah.
The bubonic plague that lasted from 1346 to 1352. That's a long time. It's 8 years for people dying.
Yep.
And
No wonder they came up with rhymes.
Huh?
It's no wonder they came up with rhymes.
Yeah. And the people stuffed posies or flowers in their pockets and stuff so they didn't have to smell the dead bodies because this.
Yep.
There's some estimates that at least half of the population of Europe died.
You know the old plague masks? That's what they would stuff the noses with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, posies. And then you, of course, died and they burnt you because
they didn't want it
they didn't want to
spreading
spread
to
it.
you still, yeah.
The next one is London Bridge, which is not the one everybody thinks it is. It's not the Tower Bridge. But London Bridge is falling down. London Bridge is falling down, My Fair Lady. Now, this one, there's several theories, but one has it referring to the Vikings' attack on the bridge in 1009.
Wow.
Or 1009.
Can I just pause you for just a second? When you said not the one that everybody thinks of, I thought instantly a Fergie.
What does that have to do with anything?
I didn't realize you were
My London Bridge. Backup singers unite.
Oh my gosh. But this one doesn't have a concise origin. It's just it's all over the place on that one.
Yeah.
So
There was a bridge. It went down. That's all you need to know.
It was in London. And that was all we know. Yeah.
it didn't make it. The next one is Humpty Dumpty. Now, this is another one that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you just...
I got a funny thing about this one.
Oh, no. It's like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So we all think of Humpty as an egg, but he wasn't an egg.
Yeah.
And there's really no evidence as to where this took place in history. And there's several different theories on that, but some believe it refers to the average village drunkard, and others believe it refers to King Richard III of England, who is often portrayed with a humpback.
Yeah.
So that's possible. And the story is that King Richard III went to war at the Battle of Bosworth, where he fell off his horse and was chopped into pieces by his rivals.
Oh my.
I mean,
Rude.
that one
the thing.
tracks.
Okay, let me tell you this funny thing with this one. All right, so I saw a meme about this, and that had Humpty Dumpty all broken on the ground, and it had the knights, and they look very concerned, and they're like, I think we could do this better if the horses would stop helping. And you see the horses just stomping eggshells.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
And the next one is Rockabye Baby, which seems to be kind of a creepy one. Because
Yeah.
you think of it oh my gosh, because it goes Rockabye Baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. And down will come baby, cradle and all. It sounds almost like,
Yeah, I've never liked this one.
Actually, well, when you go to the England one, it's a popular story that the child in the rhyme is the son of James VII, who believed was smuggled into the birthing chamber in order to give James a Catholic heir.
Yeah.
So he was he wasn't really
Yeah.
a royal, but they raised him as a royal.
Oh.
However, in that book I read, Braiding Sweetgrass,
I
Yeah.
was going to say, they hang their babies from the...
they have this cradle board and they hang them up.
Oh.
And they stay there until the child gets big enough to be on its
Yeah.
own, 2 or 3 years. So when the bough breaks or it gets too big for the cradle board, it's not your baby anymore. It's a toddler, which is a nicer twist.
Yeah.
on this
I like
one.
that version. We like that
Yeah.
version a lot. Yeah.
So wait a second. So they put them in there, and then they just whenever they fall out, then it's all right, good to go.
No. It's
All right, you're
symbolic.
big
It's
enough
symbolic.
now.
All right, too big.
Yeah, you broke that branch, man. You are done. You're gonna have to walk on your own 2 feet now.
It's time for you to walk on your own.
No,
Bye.
that's not what I meant. I meant it's okay, not a baby anymore, right? You put them in there. I'm just wondering, if this is high up off the ground, this is in the middle of the night, you got a baby that just falls and goes splat.
No, it's when they were
And
working
only
during
the
day
strong
and
babies
they put it up
survive.
there. That's right. Yeah.
Baby splatter.
This is Sparta.
Yeah, it's a Spartan baby. Okay, the next one was Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And this has other verses too, but I'm going to stop at that one. Okay, this one, Jack and Jill are assumed to represent Francis King Louis the 16th and Queen Marie Antoinette, a couple that was said to be greedy, careless, wasting of money on finery, although some point out that the dates don't necessarily correlate, and King Louis the Sixth was beheaded and lost his crown. And in 1793, Marie Antoinette was beheaded and came tumbling after.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could relate to that one, but they're not really sure about that one. Next, this was one of my favorite ones because I thought it made more sense than any of the other ones did. But it was Baba Black Sheep.
Oh, yeah.
Have you any wool? Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for the master, and 1 for the dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Now, this was thought to be first published in 1731, and many people believe that it refers to the wool tax they placed in, I guess, in England in 1275. It had gotten so bad that they had to give all their wool away, and there was very little left. And some of them don't even have the little boy getting any in some of the published nursery rhymes. So,
oh, no.
The next one is Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Okay. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Well, this was still Bloody Mary. This is who this one refers to. And Mary the First was a Catholic. Was widely known for her persecution of over 300 Protestants during her reign. So silver bells and cockle shells as a euphemism for her torture devices.
Oh, love that.
Pretty maids in a row, reference to her number of miscarriages and the many dead bodies that accumulated over her 5-year reign. So this is not a pretty little garden thing.
No.
It's kind of unpleasant.
Yeah.
A lot of them were kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, they could have been pushing up daisies.
Well, this is true.
Dead bodies create great fertilizer.
They sure do.
Dark, you know.
You raised me like this.
You know, I don't know what I was thinking. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Where is the boy that looks after the sheep? Under a haystack, fast asleep. Will you wake him? Oh, no, not I. For if I do, he'll surely cry. This one, one interpretation is that the little boy blue was in reference to Cardinal Wolsey, who was the son of a butcher and also a Hayward. In the 18th century, cows eating in the corn and sheep eating large amounts was believed to have made the animals extremely sick. Thus, a foul idea may be portrayed in the nursery rhyme. So I'm not sure if they all got sick. They probably died. There was probably famine. But,
Is that why the boy was blue?
I guess. He was sad, maybe. Or maybe sick.
Or dead.
Yeah, could be. Anyway, that's all the nursery rhymes I had. So, Zach, it's your turn.
Well, that was
pretty interesting.
That was a little bit more stuff that I was going for with some of mine.
I have other ones too, but it's like,
I hope you have some short ones too.
Right
Mine are fairly short. All right, first of all, are you guys ready for this?
Ahead.
I'm sure you've all been wondering, when did the game Rock, Paper, Scissors start?
Oh, actually.
At the dawn of time.
That was the original game.
Okay, that's how caveman determined.
Yeah.
That's how cavemen. No, they just did this. They didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
Okay, so rock, paper, scissors. Everybody knows rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yep.
Rock beats scissors, paper beats rock, scissors beats paper. Well, so this has been around for a long time.
In such a weird way.
What do you mean?
Didn't that sound weird?
No.
That sounded like it was going to be wrong. You didn't say that in the correct order. Like, what you said was right, but it was not the right order.
Okay.
Oh
If you say so. Anyway,
It's like it's always Zach and Ariel, not Ariel and Zach. That just sounds weird.
That's because I was first. Anyway, in Japan, so this is something that exists all around the world. In Japan, they call it Jonkenpon. Jonkenpon? Maybe? Other places, it's known as Rochambeau. Not in Italy, though. Apparently, in Italy, it's called Mora.
Not in Italy.
Not.
I don't know. They don't call it anything else. They just call it Mora, which seems kind of silly because everything else has like 3 syllables.
Yeah.
And there's different variants about what these are. For example, in Indonesia, they have an elephant, a person, and an ant. I'm assuming ant beats elephant in that scenario. That's the part that makes sense to me. I don't know how that works, what their logic is. But again, we have
But
paper
yeah,
covering
probably
rock.
like the whole, like
Yeah.
an elephant would be afraid of a tiny thing.
Or maybe it'll
like-
crawl up its trunk.
like-
Maybe that's what it is.
I was thinking crawling its ear.
Or its ear or something, yeah.
I was just thinking, like, isn't there a story where an elephant is afraid of a mouse?
Yeah.
And so an ant is also like a small thing. That's just what I don't really
Maybe.
know, but yeah. Yeah.
I didn't look that part up. Also,
Well,
I just
I'm
want
gonna
to
look
say
it up. Where's this? India?
Indonesia.
Oh,
Indonesia.
okay. Indonesia.
Most of mine are coming from this book called What Did We Use Before Toilet Paper by Andrew Thompson. Okay, anyway. Here he writes, with such widespread popularity, there are many theories as to when and where this game began. Some believe that it has been played in Japan since 200 BC and migrated to Europe in the 18th century, while others believe it began with Celtic settlers in Portugal in 600 BC, after which it spread to Europe when the Romans invaded Spain in around 100 AD. 100 CE. He needs to upgrade this thing, so we're using the correct terminology now. So we'll probably never know exactly when it happened because there's not really much tangible evidence, but there is some stuff.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I mean, the longest estimated dates are going back to Egyptian hieroglyph from 2000 BCE, where you've got sort of like a similar hand gesture game that could be like rock, paper, scissors. I mean, it's not like a hard...
See? Dawn of time.
not a hard thing to come up with. You have three things and then you just sort of guess. But it's clearly been around for a very long time, at least a couple thousand years is the guess. But it could even go back to ancient Egyptian times or even sooner. I mean, there could be caveman playing effectively rock, paper, scissors, which is pretty fun. I like to think that, we're all connected through time through something goofy like rock, paper, scissors. That just makes me happy.
And then someone gets it wrong and it's like, oh!
There's like a circle of everybody.
Yeah. Around the fire.
Yeah.
All right, that was my first one.
You want me to do another one?
I can do a couple. Yeah, if yours are all long like that, I'll do a couple of them. Okay.
Yeah, do a couple of them.
Next one. Why do some coins have ridges on them? So if you look at a dime has ridges.
I know this one.
Or a quarter has
Quarters have
ridges.
ridges.
Yep.
Nickels and
So do
pennies don't,
ruffles.
though. Ruffles
It's so
have
that blind
ridges?
people could tell them apart.
No, it's not so blind people could tell them apart.
I'm
It
sorry.
is too.
Nope. It's not.
It's the shaving. It's shaving because they were made of silver.
Don't you be spoiling it. Don't be spoiling it.
I had the answer, man. I had the answer. My head
Yeah,
was
so coins used to be made.
Nobody called on you.
Sorry.
Coins used to be made of precious materials like gold, silver, actual real copper, stuff like that. And basically, in order to keep the coins all universal, merchants had to weigh all of their coins. Basically, back in the day, this is back when you weren't sure what a quarter or a penny was, and they actually it mattered how much metal was there. So back in the day, the merchants had to actually measure all of the coins out to make sure that you were paying the right amount. So instead of doing that, after a while, since it was such a huge burden, the coins were minted with ridges on the sides, because then you could tell if the edges of a coin had been shaved off. If that wasn't like that, if they were all smooth, you could shave off a little bit of silver over time, for example, and just collect it all.
Oh,
and the coins would
so
get
you was trying
smaller
to
and
cheat
smaller.
the system.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they would
Gotcha.
they used to have to weigh them to make sure that there was the right amount of silver there, because if you shave off a little bit of that silver, the coin would get smaller and it would weigh less. But if it has the ridges on the side, you can't shave that off without it being very obvious, because the ridges would be gone if it was all shaved off. Also, I'm going to throw in a donut
makes
because she
sense.
just unplugged my headphones. It didn't take long, did it?
No, it did not.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll do one
People,
more.
You've got to read those books.
They are really good books. I'll do one more and then I'll pass it back off to you. Why
Okay.
is the sky blue?
I know.
So everybody's like
I'm gonna call
all.
on you.
Raising my hand. Pick me. Pick me.
I'm not picking you. This is my segment. All right. So why is the sky blue? Lots of people say it's because it reflects the color of the ocean. I don't know why people have thought that for so long, but I guess it's sort of like the first inkling thing you have as a kid. But then why is the water blue? Because it reflects the sky. It's a paradox. It can't work that way. What actually happens is, so the sun emits light in all different wavelengths, right? All different colors. And that's why it looks sort of white to us for the most part. And when the light comes in through the atmosphere, it gets interacted with differently depending on the color of the light. So, for example, red light, yellow light, green light, all that stuff, it generally goes through just fine. And it can just reach the ground, so we don't see it reflecting off of the sky. However, the shorter wavelength light, the blues and the violets, they do get scattered. They get reflected and bounced around all over the place. So those are the only things that we see reflecting off of the sky, which makes the sky sort of tip more towards the blue side than it does towards the red side. If it scattered everything equally, I guess the sky would be white, which would be sort of interesting. But it's not, because
I kind of like the blue.
I like the blue too. It's actually sort of a weird thing, right? There's like a, I don't know if I can really say this without confusing people a little bit. There's an art of the fourth Raleigh scattering exponent there, basically saying that it's not that it scatters a little bit more in the atmosphere, it's a lot more that the blue light gets scattered in the atmosphere. So it ends up being actually very blue.
You know, I don't know if maybe I just wasn't comprehending what you just said, but that didn't sound like actual words. It sounded like gibberish. And then you talking about the sky being blue.
It means extreme scattering. That's what it means.
Yeah, it's something.
What did you
Really
even say?
big number.
What did you even say again? Say it again.
Art of the fourth?
Yeah, art of the fourth.
Art of the fourth what? Say it all together. Say it
So-
all together.
R
There's-
to the
No.
Okay, so basically, so you have wavelength. which
No,
is-
that's not. No, I don't
I'm
want
go-
you to describe
Okay.
it.
I
I want
said
you to
there's an
say
art of-
exactly what you.
there's an art to the fourth relationship based on the wavelength for scattering light.
I did not even hear the word relationship in there.
Well,
It
maybe
was
I
just
didn't
like
say it the first time. When we talk about this in common parlance, we say it goes like art of the fourth. I don't know what to tell you.
So is it R as in the letter or art?
R
Really,
as
really,
in the
really,
letter.
really. One is to say ah.
I should have made this analogy. I mean, this little thing here.
Mallory said it stood for really, 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 really.
One is to say ah.
Yeah. R. Really, 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 really.
Yep. Yep.
I mean that makes sense.
Anyway, so the point is, the shorter wavelengths, the stuff that is bluer, scatters more, and it's a lot more. If you think about it, an R to the fourth relationship means it's like something scattering like with some sort of, I'm just going to pick a number, right? 2. Say one scatters 2, all right? And then the other one would scatter 2 to the fourth. So something like, what's 2 to the fourth? That's 16 times.
Yep.
So it's 8 times more scattering, basically.
Okay.
Even though it's like a small change, right?
Mhm.
I don't
You've
know.
made something fun into something dull.
Sky's blue because it scatters more blue light. All right,
There you go.
moving on. Your turn.
Okay. This next bunch is how things got their names. Just everyday or normal things, how they got their names. This is one of my favorites. I think, is it minke whale? Is that how you pronounce it? Minke. That's a minke whale. It's not a mink, is it? It's minke whale. Correct.
I have no idea what that term
I looked
is.
this up and now I think it's minke whale. It's a type of whale.
Hmm.
Anyway, they got their names because there was this new person out of Norway it was his first time out on a whaling ship. And the ship's name was Minski. Okay. anyways, this guy's job to find blue whales is what they were looking for. So as soon as he saw one of these other whales, he was like, oh, there's a blue whale. There's a blue whale. He's all excited and stuff like that. Well, it turns out that blue whales weigh like 200 tons and minke whales weigh 8 tons. So he was like way off. And the crew laughed and they harassed him and it just made a huge joke of it. And they started calling these whales Minke's whales in honor of the poor spotter.
I don't think it's called minke.
What is
It's
it?
minka.
Mink whale.
Mink.
Mink. I didn't know whether it was mink or minky.
I don't trust that
Anyway, it's a
one.
mink whale.
I think Cambridge
What?
is right. I think it's minka.
Well, M-I-N-K-E.
I think it's
whales.
Milka, and they're made out of chocolate.
Maybe they're not blue ones, so maybe. But anyway, I thought that was funny. It got its name because somebody was inept at their job.
That sounds about
Well,
right.
you know.
And you know why heroin is called heroin?
Because it saved the day.
Because it makes people feel heroic.
Does it, though?
Well, I guess why you're taking it, I don't know.
We need
No.
And
to ask.
We don't need. I was like, we don't need to test
we
this.
do not need to try it. Cut that out.
No.
No, I was going to say we need to interview a drug addict. Or an ex-drug addict, maybe.
You know how the Bible got its name, Bible?
Doesn't that just mean book?
It was named for a Lebanese seaport, and also for the French word was bibliocracy, something like that.
You pronounce too many
And-
letters. That's clearly not French.
I think I do. I think that's the reason I can't spell. Anyway, it's similar to a seaport, like a collection of books, and it's similar to a seaport in Lebanon and Biblios. Anyway, that's how I got it. It was like, it's not what you... So Bible does not necessarily mean what we think it means.
Yep. We got a whole collection of Bibles out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my favorite one, Idaho. How did Idaho get its name?
Because we not the hoe.
They just made it up.
I like mine better.
I mean, there's like Alaska is an word that means great land, and Ohio means beautiful in native
West
tongue.
Virginia. We don't want to be
We are
with
the
that one
western
anymore.
part of Virginia, but it's like, but anyway, they just made it up. There is like, it doesn't mean anything. Just made it up.
Yeah, it means that the rest of the country is not a hoe.
Yep. Idaho, not Idaho.
I don't know
think
that
that was-
I don't know that makes sense. It does not mean that the rest of the country cannot be a hoe. It just means that one is claiming it is. I'm just saying. It's honest about it.
They're
The rest
self-aware.
of the country is lying.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
I'll do one more and then I'll quit. There is a worm called the bobbit worm,
Ew.
and it was named after Lorena Bobbitt.
I would
So
be
you
so
can-
offended.
She
but
probably
it
found
was
it.
like because of what it looks like.
so.
Did she discover it?
No, I just saw it. Thought it.
That cannot be true.
It says, okay, I want to read about it. It's one of the most terrifying creatures in nature. This
Oh my god.
deep sea worm lives under the seafloor, waiting to ambush prey that settles on top of it. It can grow up to 3 meters in length. That is huge.
Oh my
That-
gosh.
that's
This is not a worm.
Wait, who was it named
This
after?
is not a worm.
Who was it named
absolutely.
It's huge.
after? Who was it named after?
Lorena Bobbitt. She's the one
Lorena.
who,
Lorena.
Yeah,
I'm
she's the
looking
one
her
who,
up.
She cut off her husband's member because he was abusing her.
I love her.
love
Oh,
her.
yeah. And it's like she kind of got away with it too, because when she testified at one time, well, she also threw it out a car window later. It's like,
Oh, okay. So when you said
She
it,
does not look like this worm.
and reattached it. They found it and it's like that was a whole big thing, like when the kids were little. But anyway, she testified and she was. You felt sorry for her because she had been horribly
Well,
traumatized
yeah.
and stuff. But she was like, she was driving. And my hands were busy because she didn't speak English well either, because she still had his member in her hand, and she just tossed it out the window so she could drive.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Anyway,
No, when you said Baba
Oh my
worm,
gosh.
it's called that because of how it looked. That's not what I thought. I
Well-
thought you meant it looked like her. And I was like, that's really
Yeah, that's
rude.
what I thought you
No.
meant.
But no, it
What
makes
her
a lot.
hands are busy with.
It makes a lot more sense now. I'm just saying. Also,
Oh
it
my
is terrifying
goodness.
looking. You should everybody
It
Google
is.
It is. It really is. But
or
yeah.
Bing it.
I'll have one more and I'll shut up. This one is the Ouija board. How did it get its name?
I don't even
Anybody?
know.
I'm gonna guess that I'm just gonna guess that they had a bunch of letters and they're like, this sounds cool.
No, it named itself.
Oh
there was
my
a woman
gosh.
playing with it and she asked the name of the board and that's what it spelled out.
Huh.
So it stuck.
Literally
It's the only
randomness.
thing in history that named itself.
I
Huh.
don't know. The brain named itself.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
This is true, I
That
guess.
is true. Yeah.
Well, it depends. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the first person ever to speak said, "You ugga," or something like that. So it was named by somebody else.
You trying to
Just
tell me
saying.
I'm ugly?
No, ugga. I'm thinking like caveman level here.
Oh, my goodness.
The whole ugga bugga thing. I think that might be like a racist thing now. I don't know. Because
You
people
shouldn't
used it
say it,
incorrectly. Anyway. Let's see here. Let's go with I have just a list of these, so I'm going in random order. This is one that I know you guys know, but I think it might be fun for the listeners.
So we have
Where-
to keep our hands down, right?
Yeah, keep your hands down. Where does the term "mad as a hatter" come from? So we all know this, but
Tell us where.
oh, thank you so much. Basically, back in the day. So first of all, let me preface this by everybody knows the term "the Mad Hatter" from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, right? At
It's
least
awfully bold of you to assume that everybody knows.
most people, I think,
I'm
Who
pretty
would
sure
be
all of our
listening-
listeners know that.
to the podcast know that Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter. Well,
They've got to be our kind of people.
the long story short of this, why this is because back in the day when people made hats out of felt, they would use something like rabbit fur. And in order to get the rabbit fur to basically like stay in the shape of a hat better, they would use mercury and they'd brush it onto the rabbit fur to get it to stay in the right spot and look nice. And mercury, I'm not sure if you guys all know this, but is toxic to people. And the mercury fumes that they were working with all the time, they would breathe in, eventually drove them insane because that's what mercury poisoning does over long periods of time. It will make you go crazy. There's a bunch of other like side effects, but that's one of the ones. So when they say mad as a hatter, they mean mad as somebody has basically heavy metal poisoning, which is unfortunate, but that is the way it is. After a while, they stopped doing that and they had other chemicals to stiffen the hats, but mercury, there you go.
I really, out of all the things to pick, why pick that?
Mercury?
I feel like you could get.
They didn't know it was toxic back in the day. They used to use it for mirrors and stuff too.
I know that.
But they
I'm
put
just
it in
saying.
mercurochrome.
Mhm.
I mean, this has been recently that they used mercurochrome, which didn't burn near as bad as the phthalate, so you
Mhm.
preferred it.
Oh, you say recent.
Ugh.
This is like back in the Stone Ages, basically. Right?
Well, I was alive, so there you go.
This is exactly
it's a
my
Gen X
point.
thing. We were tough.
Maybe that explains why a bunch of you and the baby
We're all
boomers are all crazy. All right. What is the origin of the rule of thumb? And it's not, okay, I'm just going to also preface this one by, it's not the myth that people have, or at least this is very likely not the case, this myth that people have where it was a law back in the day, I think in England, where you were allowed to beat your wife, but only with a stick that is smaller than the diameter of your thumb.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
So lots of
I
people have
think
heard
it's something
that.
a little bit older than that.
It's not that.
Okay.
I could see it being that, though.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think it's older than that. It's even worse. Tell us what it is.
the earliest recorded use of the rule of thumb comes from 1692, but we're still not 100% sure of where the term comes from. That's the earliest we have it written down, though. The main school of thought about this is that across the ages, you have people such as carpenters and seamstresses who have used their thumb as a measuring guide,
Yeah.
or people using their thumb as a way to test temperature. For example, brewers doing this. But basically, it's possible or most likely that it comes from people using their body parts, for example, their thumb, to measure different things, right? So, for example, your thumb, if you go from the tip of your thumb to the first knuckle of your thumb, that's about an inch.
Well, maybe for normal people.
Not
I have
mine.
tiny hands.
I was going to say mine's
Mine,
smaller
yes.
than that.
I don't know. Mine's
I
about
have
an
to
inch.
use like my middle finger, the center part,
It's
from
about
that
an
inch.
inch.
first to
The
second
same.
knuckle.
Is it not about the same?
Yeah, they're about the same for me.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a quarter of an inch
Well,
off.
yours is, but
Yeah,
Maybe
mine
you
are
just got
definitely
weird-shaped
these-
hands.
Mine are all different.
yeah, I think they both do.
I have baby hands.
I thought it was the Caesar thing, where it's like, thumbs up, thumbs down, whether you live or die.
Oh.
So I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking that he was talking about measuring things with your
I
thumb.
figured
but
it was
then he said
measurements.
it was, yeah. So, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, so basically
Did
that's
you
the
know that
idea.
your thumb is supposed to be the same length as your nose?
That's pretty close for me.
Like, and then your foot is the same size as your forearm from your wrist to your elbow.
That is not true for me.
It is. Well, try it.
That's,
Try it.
that's
Try it.
absolutely not
Stick
true
your
for
foot
me.
there. It's true for me.
My foot. See, I got
A little bit. A
I
little
got
bit.
space.
I've
My
got
feet and my hands are tiny.
I've got
They don't
basically
match me.
a full toes length past my forearm that my foot goes.
That doesn't surprise me because your feet are huge. You're like a clown.
It is weird. They're kind of bigger feet. I don't understand it. For my height, at least.
That's how I got my sister's feet and she got mine.
But as a general rule, that's supposed to be it.
Yeah.
There's also another general rule that's supposed to go with your nose and a certain body part that only men have.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'll do one more and then I'll throw it back to you.
Okay.
I'm not crazy though. There was a legit scientific study
I know.
done.
Moving,
See, I
I think
moving on,
this one is
moving on.
actually correct for me.
Yeah.
They're measuring their body parts here,
I just
people.
had to, with my nail, I was like, I don't even know where.
I know that's
Oh
the
my
thing.
God.
I was like, I can't do this because my nails annoying.
So, where did the fabric denim originate and why is it stitched with orange thread?
So you can see it.
No. Anyway. So
I mean, think about it. It would make it easier to
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
it would, I suppose. So apparently this is common knowledge. I didn't know it. But apparently it's common knowledge that the word denim is derived from the French phrase chers de nimes or chers de nimes. I don't know. I don't speak French.
I don't think that this is common at all.
Anyway,
Maybe in
anyway,
France.
the denimes part or the denims part, however it's pronounced, is where we get the term denim from. And then jeans came from a different word. It was from a town called Genoa in Italy, and it's short for jean fustian, where jean is a modern spelling of Jans, the French word for Genoa, and fustian means a cotton cloth. So, just sort of an interesting little aside. But the thing that I thought was a little bit more interesting is why in the world is the stitching orange? You'd think it'd be like the same color or white or something like that. I don't know. It's just why orange? It seems weird that it's orange. And it's not just because of all the
'Cause
movie
it's
posters
complimentary?
nowadays. No, it's not because it's complimentary either.
Well, they canceled each other out.
The main reason it is because the guys who were making this stuff back in the day, Jacob and Levi, they were making denim and they used orange stitching so that it would match their copper rivets that they use.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it is complimentary.
yeah.
It's complementary to,
Just
I guess,
yeah.
the copper rivets, not to the blue jeans themselves. But they used copper
it's
rivets
not like a
'cause-
complimentary and the color wheel, but
Yeah.
yes, I like that. That's cool to know.
yeah, but they put the rivets in there. Copper's
That's
easy
some
to work with.
forethought.
And then they put some orange
Mhm.
stitching in there. And they did this pretty early on. It was like the year after they started working together. Also, Levi. There you go.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Okay. I have some unusual and bizarre U.S. town names. There's 10 of them. The number 10 is Swastika, New York. And of course, now swastikas are associated with Nazis and bad things.
Yeah.
But they were used for thousands of years to symbolize good luck and stuff. And there was a suit brought against the town and the early maybe mid 1900s. And the town council decided to keep the name because it was named after the original settlers there and it was not meant anything Nazi. So they kept the name so they didn't get to change it. The next one is Accident, Maryland. It's like, where do you live? Accident. And it was named after a Bob Ross type accident. It's a happy little accident.
Happy little accident.
Anyway, there was an accident there. But also, the guy that originally owned the property, it was given to him by King George II of England. So it's like in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
He had two different surveyors to survey his property. And both surveyors independently came to the exact same dimensions and stuff and lines. So it was like a happy accident. Yeah. That it worked out perfect. So anyway, it's been Accident, Maryland since then. Knock'em Stiff, Ohio.
Oh my gosh, I've heard of this one before.
Have you heard of this one? I had not. I thought that just... I have to redo this one. I missed this one even when I was looking at it. It was a massive brawl that allegedly took place during the community's infancy when it was started. So it was another concern of some of the not-so-Christian advice from a preacher to a lady churchgoer seeking counsel about her husband's infidelities. If he was knocking his boots, reasoned the man of God, you should knock him stiff. So just,
love that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Knock'em Stiff, Ohio. And then there's Buttsville, New Jersey.
Buttsville.
Buttsville.
That's kind of fun.
Oh my God. It's like, I can't see where this one even, it talks about the town, but it doesn't say how it got its name. I have no idea. But anyway, that's what it's been like that since 1839. Oh, the founder was named Michael Robert Butts. So,
yep,
it was Buttsville.
Yep.
And then my all-time favorite one, Hump Tulips, Washington.
I have not heard of this one.
Oh, you're going to have to go. It's so funny. Hump Tulip is one of the rare, ridiculously named places whose origin story is as funny as its current designation. The name derives from the local Native American word meaning not kidding. Hard to pull. It was a hard place to get across the creek, basically, because the rapids were so different. So difficult, not different, so difficult. Anyway, and the Native Americans propelled themselves across with canoes, but it was really, really rough, so they tried to avoid the Hump Tulip's rough water. But this is my favorite part. Several popular works of fiction have paid homage to the flower fornicating town. Yeah,
oh my
that's
gosh,
what this
flower
says.
fornicating.
Anyway, yeah. Hump Tulips is mentioned in Tom Robbins, another roadside attraction, as a base of operations for the Order of Assassins Monks, and a book. And there's a book reference in Terry Pratchett's Discworld novel series, a wizard named Hump Tulip as its author. And it's no coincidence. Pratchett once called Hump Tulips his favorite place on Earth. So you're going to have to find it and go visit, Zach.
It is, we were just north of it when he visited.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know that Kalaloch beach we went to?
Kalaka, yeah.
It's about something like 40 minutes south of there.
This
Maybe
sounds like another
closer.
road trip.
Exactly.
We're going to have to take a road trip.
Yep.
I'll come out. We'll take a road trip. And there's other funny ones too, but that was my favorite because of Terry Pratchett. There's Boogertown, North Carolina.
Yep.
Blue Ball, Pennsylvania.
I love that.
It's named for the Blue Ball Hotel.
Yep.
So
why is it called the Blue Ball
Yep.
Hotel?
I don't know.
Well,
you like to know.
At one point, it was called the Red Light
Because
Hotel, but then it got shut down.
Wallace, the person that owned the hotel, hung a blue ball from a post outside the building to differentiate it from the potential competitors, and called the distinguished decoration the sign of the blue ball. So, and then we, of course, turned it into something else. Then there's Nothing, Arizona, and No Name, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, these are so funny. And another good one. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Ooh,
I think I'd be afraid to stop there. I think
I
that's
love
an exit
that.
ramp. I might just keep on going.
I'll go.
We just you have to
could do that
just
right
be
now.
honest the
Yeah.
whole time you're there. Otherwise,
say, you just
face
can't
the
lie.
consequences.
Yeah.
Choose truth every time.
Yeah.
Just choose truth.
That's like a more extreme game of truth or dare.
Yeah.
Truth or consequences.
And then this one, Satan's Kingdom State Recreational Area
Oh, it's
in
home.
Massachusetts.
Huh.
So I don't remember seeing that one.
It's home.
And it's because it was once the whole area was on fire.
Oh,
So, I mean, it was like fire and brimstone.
yeah. Huh.
That's kind of fun.
It was a huge forest fire that it got its name.
I want to move there. Just because that would be fun to write on a letter.
Okay, but the postcards.
Yeah.
Could make some good postcards.
Oh my gosh, how funny. Well, there's
All right.
then you have to go to Michigan and go to Paradise, Michigan.
There you go.
So you could have, both extremes.
There we go.
That are from
There's
Paradise.
also hell,
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is.
Hill,
Actually, I think
Texas.
there are a couple of them.
which
I
That's
had
there's
hilarious.
one up north because it periodically freezes over.
Yeah. There's I had this book a long time ago. I probably still have it at home. I really hope so because it was hilarious. It was called The Bad Girl's Guide to Road Trips. And it was like just basically tips and tricks for like any girl wanting to travel anywhere across the country. And there was like a whole chapter on weird place names, and they basically made you like a map to travel in
Like
like
a road
in order
trip.
to go. Yeah. I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
They also had like really weird laws at different places.
Mhm.
There's like on Sunday somewhere you can't wear an ice cream cone in your back pocket.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
why would that?
I don't
it's
even-
like,
yeah.
why? I mean, I
Yeah.
would think the mom would take out the kid that did that. You wouldn't have
Right.
to have a law for
Right?
it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But yeah, that was a
That's
fun
crazy.
that was a fun book. I really liked it.
There are some names that are just so funny, and some of them the way they're pronounced are funny.
Yeah.
even because it's not pronounced the way the locals pronounce
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Like Hurricane.
Perkin,
Pocatalico.
Yep.
Pocatalico,
Yeah. That's how the
so
GPS says it.
Yep.
and Kanawha,
Yeah.
Kanawha.
Well, to be fair, Kanawha,
But my-
I mean, like, why would you pronounce it that way?
Because that's how it's pronounced.
It's because
Why would
people
you
be
pronounce
lazy.
Hurricane like Hurricane?
Hurricane.
It only has 2 syllables. Hurricane.
Have you seen the
Hurricane.
thing where it says, in West Virginia, we only have one hurricane, and you'll be amazed at how we pronounce it.
Yes.
There's every time I go down to Ange's, I love passing that one. It's Possum Hollow Road.
Yep.
I mean, it's
There's a store that just opened, I think, in Kanawha City or something like that. Maybe it's even in Hurricane. But on their shirts, it says her and then under kun. Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah. I was like, that's funny.
Okay. Quarter G.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
always, whenever I was younger.
Quarter.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
corridor.
I always thought it was quarter G just from how everybody said it.
because that's how I say it when Michael moved here.
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta go up to quarter G, and he's like, I can't find that on GPS. And
I thought it was
like, what do
quarter,
you mean?
Q-U-A-T,
No,
Yeah.
it's corridor.
No, it's corridor.
It's corridor.
Yeah.
corridor. That took me a long time to figure out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It really wasn't until I
I was an
actually went
adult
down there.
before.
Yeah. I drove down there and I finally was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess that makes a lot more sense.
But we
Yep.
all knew what it was.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. We knew where it was.
It's not. It's traffic is awful there. I hate going there.
I haven't been there in a long, long time, so.
It's not gotten any better.
All right,
Okay,
so
you haven't.
yeah,
your
I got another set of stuff here. We're coming up close to an hour, so we can do like one or two more.
Okay.
So what's the origin of the term okay? Has anybody heard any origins of the term okay?
It seems
It
like
comes from the word okie dokie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Definitely. That's it.
There's also some artichokes.
Okie dokie, artichoke. So
We're unhinged today.
there's a bunch of different origins for this. I'll read off some of the few that are a little bit more interesting. There's an Army biscuits supplier called O'Kendall and Sons, whose initials were stamped onto each tin of biscuits back in the day. There's a Finnish word called oiki, meaning correct. And that's definitely how you pronounce that. Finnish people don't get at me. Same thing for the French. There's a French word, orches. K's being a port
Why'd you
to produce
say it
some
like
high
that?
quality
It was
rum.
aggressive.
Orches.
That was like a very German version of French.
Whatever. Oh, no, they say oh. That sounds French to me. Oh. It's A-U-X. How would you pronounce that in French?
Ox.
Oh.
In
Ox.
French.
It's literally just, it's just,
No, too many letters. It's just oh. There's the ancient Greek schooling practice of marking the letters on exceptional papers, indicating that they were olakala, literally meaning it is good, which is pretty fun. And then let's just do one more. The Choctaw Indian word "okay," used by President Andrew Jackson in an 1815 battle, which is kind of fun. But the most favored derivation, according to this book, is, and this is probably because it's actually backed up by evidence and not just some old wives' tale, is that it was a fad in the 1830s in Boston for newspapers to use comical expressions such as KY for no use. I don't even know what that means. It's no as in KNOW, use, YUSE. What the heck is use?
You're useless. Useless.
All right. All right is OW. NS is nuff said. And notably, OK for all correct. They're just spelling with... I guess maybe they spell stuff a little bit differently, or they were being jokey.
like artichokes.
And this...
And we thought we invented this texting stuff.
Yeah.
This spread to New York and New Orleans, and OK became popular in 1840 when the supporters of the Democratic politician Martin Van Buren formed the OK Club. But in that case, it was Old Kinderhook. But still, the fact that it's it means all correct. I've actually heard that one before, and I thought it was silly back then too. Should be AC, not OK, but they spelt it funny. All right, another one. The sort of reason that I wanted to do this as a episode is, why is $1 called a buck? And this one's kind of fun. So this is something that is, I think, only prevalent in the United States. But we have the slang term for $1, which is a buck. And the most popular theory of this origin is that it derives from the Native American bartering of goods in the 18th century. So at that time, the hide of a male deerskin, buckskin, was a common term, a common bartering item, and it was later shortened to a buck. And as the bartering system was gradually replaced with a system of monetary exchange, the word came to reference $1. So basically, it's just, we used to use buckskins all the time, or the Native Americans did, and as everything got integrated, we're just using fiat currency.
Well, back then it really was currency because it was based on silver and gold.
I mean, it's still it's currency now. It's just fake money. It's all money's fake anyway. What is silver good for anyway? Nothing, basically. It's just shiny.
Pretty.
We like it as shiny.
Yeah.
Well, I like dollar bills because they're green. I don't know, and they let me buy stuff. Anyway, so the main point is that we transferred from buckskins or bucks to dollars. So buck became associated with dollar, which is kind of fun. And what about the term?
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
What about the term pipe dream?
I don't know that one. I've never. I mean, I didn't even. I've never.
Have you not heard the term? Oh, okay.
I've heard the term. Yeah,
So everybody's at least heard the term pipe dream.
Yeah.
So when you say it's a pipe dream, it means that it's not attainable, basically. This is just
Right.
like happy make-believe world. It's not going to happen.
This doesn't have to do with indoor plumbing, does it?
It does not. Although that would be funny. That would be a better origin than what it actually is. It's like, oh, can't have indoor plumbing. That's a pipe dream.
Indoors.
That would be great.
Forever.
Yep.
No, the expression refers primarily to the dreams experienced by smokers of opium. And opium, if you didn't know, is a narcotic drug that
okay.
produces
That
an
makes sense.
analgesic and hypnotic effect. And they inhale the vapors through a pipe. And it's referring to the vivid and fantastic hallucinations often experienced by people under the influence. And the term is thought to have been used in the United States since the late 19th century when opium smoking was still legal. And it's believed to have been coined by the playwright Eugene O'Neill. The first written usage was by Wallace Irwin in 1901, Love Sonnets of a Hoodlum.
Love Sonnets of a Hoodlum.
Love Sonnets
Is
of
it
a
hoodlum
Hoodlum.
or hoodlum? Is it hoodlum?
It's Hoodlum. Hoodlum.
Hoodlum.
Hoodlum.
Hoodlum, which is kind of fun. And I'm just going to finish off this little chunk. Actually, no, I got two that might be fun. I don't know if you have more, but I've got a bunch more, but I'm just going to stop with these ones. Would you guys like to hear why a rabbit's foot is considered good luck, or
Yes.
why is
Both.
belly
Just do
button
both of
lint?
them.
Okay, I'll just do both of them. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
finish off
just
with
do
the
both of
best one,
them.
though. Okay. One. Why is a rabbit's foot considered lucky? So the origins
I
of
have no
this superstition, I'm going to call it superstition because why is cutting off rabbits' feet lucky? It's ridiculous. Date back to Western Europe in 600 BCE. And that's back when apparently people used to consider rabbits to be sacred animals, believing that man was descended from animals such as rabbits and that the spirits inhabited the animals' bodies. And as rabbits spent a lot of time underground, the Celts later believed that dark, diabolic, or underground spirits lived in rabbits. And here it says...
I think that I can see some truth in that one.
basically, because of the, they reproduce so quickly, they were thought of as a symbol of fertility. They're super fast, etc., etc. They've got all kinds of this cool stuff. They thought that their feet were a source of basically protective magic. And because overall that rabbits were so highly revered, any part of the rabbit received some equal honor. So it's thought that its foot was selected as a good luck charm because it dried quickly and small size made it easy to carry. So basically, rabbits were super important back in the day. So they would keep a little piece of a rabbit with them for good luck because it was magical. And I had never heard this before reading this little section of the book. Rabbits have always been just
Yeah,
the best thing
no.
we got is Peter Rabbit. That's, aside from that, they just run around and they're kind
The
of cute.
Easter Bunny.
The
There's
Easter Bunny. I guess there's Easter Bunny.
Peter Cottontail.
All right, and then I'm going to go with my final one for this one, and it's going to be, why is belly lint usually blue?
From Jean.
Jeans.
Now, you would think that. You might think that. So,
Obviously,
first of
we
all,
do think that. That's what we said.
there's been a number of surveys that have been undertaken in regard to belly button lint. And one of the ones is basically they gather up a bunch of lint and they're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is blue. So first, let's just say lint is like little fibers of hair and dead skin cells and all that stuff, little bits of hair and stuff that eventually all migrates down and it gets stuck in your belly button just because, that's a nice little crevice there it can get stuck in. Which is kind of fun. And actually, regarding this, it's generally found that men with large stomachs accumulate more lint.
They make the most.
Probably
They make the
because
most lint.
They do.
You
They
can
make
felt
so
with
much
it
lint.
too.
Make
Just
so
so
much
you're
lint.
aware.
Anyway. It's probably because their belly rubs up against their shirt a lot more. Anyway, the reason why it's blue is generally thought to be related to the color of the clothing worn below the belly button, right? So usually it's like blue jeans and stuff like that, or dark colors, dark pants and
looks
whatnot.
like we're right.
But it still is blue even if people don't wear clothing like that. And the main reason is it's because, like, it's just when you mix all of the different colors of the fibers in our clothing together, it looks blue. Like, that's the average color of clothes, like lint. Now, it's not because the actual fabric's blue or whatever, but when it's like all tiny like that, it looks more
It's like when
blue.
you take your lint filter out of your dryer.
Yeah, exactly. Like your lint filter is almost always blue, even when you do a load of nothing with jeans in it. It still looks
actually
blue.
almost always gray, but
Yeah,
it's
mine's
got a
usually
bluish
gray.
tint.
If I do my
It's
jeans,
got a
it's very
bluish tint.
blue, but yeah.
It's got a
That's
bluish tint.
wild.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun. I think this is like a small particle scattering type thing, much like the sky. So why is the sky
R
blue?
to the fourth.
Similar to the reason why, exactly. Similar to the reason why lint is blue, probably.
That's going to be in my vocabulary now. It's like, this has been an R to the fourth day.
I say
we
R to
have
the
them.
fourth because it's R is 1 over lambda. Just FYI. Actually, you guys want to hear a
part
fun
of the
joke?
fourth annoyance levels.
Yes.
What's your fun joke?
Yes.
Okay, this is a fun joke that my professor told me back in college. First, let me preface this by saying one thing. Nu, the symbol nu, which is a Greek letter, is generally used for frequency, right? People use F nowadays, but nu is also another one that you can use. So the joke is, what's new? C over lambda.
I'm laughing specifically at your laughter.
The fact that you find it so funny.
It's like, I don't get it. It's like, I don't know
Couldn't
what...
contain himself.
Okay, so the
I don't understand the other two, the lambda and the...
C
He told
is the
this
speed of
joke.
light,
Yeah.
and then lambda is the wavelength. So C divided by lambda,
frequency is
C over
the-
lambda
the
is
fact that you-
frequency.
Yeah.
So what's new?
The fact you
C
told
over
this
lambda.
joke and then waited a second for us to laugh and couldn't contain yourself.
I'm sorry, this is one of the
was
best jokes on
wondering
the planet. It is
How much of
fantastic.
a
my
nerd
God.
Zach is.
You know what, listeners? Get in the comments. Send us some messages. Tell them how funny this joke is because it's hilarious.
Send us other crazy jokes.
You know what? We should have a joke episode.
should.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
We,
We could
can't
all
laugh,
come
but we
together.
can't laugh.
Yeah, one of those don't
You
try
guys
not
would
to
die.
laugh challenge things.
I
I
for
would
sure,
make it.
I would have a headache from not laughing or from laughing.
An R to the fourth episode.
Yeah.
Oh my
We could
gosh.
just title it that. Nope, that's today's title. Art of the Fourth. Aria, ready?
Have you heard of those elephant jokes? Just like a brief side tangent, the elephant jokes. Don't look them up because if we do a joke episode, then I'm going to use these ones. But the whole point is there's really stupid jokes that all connect together like over time.
Huh.
It's like the
Like
man
the
drawer.
elephant in the fridge.
What? Yeah, like why is the elephant in the fridge? Stuff like that. Why is the elephant in a tree?
Yeah.
Why no,
Yeah.
why can't you see an elephant hiding in a tree? Stuff like that. They're just really stupid jokes.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love them.
Yeah,
it's
we
like one of your favorite jokes. And it's grown to be one of my favorite jokes. What's brown and sticky?
A stick.
It's a stick.
What a good joke.
See, we're not going to be able to survive that.
No, we're not. It's like I'm sorry. My favorite joke. I know I've told you guys this a million times. What's a bear with no teeth called?
A gummy bear.
A gummy bear.
Yeah. See, yeah,
See,
we gotta
need
do
to
a
have
dumb
like
jokes
a
episode.
clipboard, and then
Yeah.
like if you laugh, you get a point.
Yeah.
And whoever has the most points loses.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
We should do that.
We
That
need to
sounds
do
fun.
this. It's
Okay.
happening.
Yeah.
I could win this.
No, you couldn't.
You guys would
think
be
any of us
cackling the
will
whole
win.
time. It's even worse because
Yeah,
you're all in
we're
the
gonna
same
have to do
that.
location. So
Yeah. We're going to have to like turn away from each other to do this.
What if we laugh while telling the joke? We'd have to figure out if that counts.
It does count.
Yeah, does that
Anytime you
count?
laugh, it counts. Yep.
Man.
Oh, man. That's great. That's going to happen.
I'm going to tell my teens to give me their best jokes. Man, I have one, but I can't say it on this because it is a bad one.
Yep.
But it is funny.
what is?
Are we going to shut it off?
What,
We're at a-
one
we're at a
thing, one thing.
minute,
I just want to give you
almost
like a little
10.
taste.
No, you're good, you're
little
good.
Taste. What is big, gray, and blue? An elephant holding its breath.
I was going to say a dead one.
Oh my god!
Why did the elephant
Yeah, we're
change
not-
his socks? Because they were
He
dirty.
can't stop. I can't.
Okay. I'm gonna stop. I love the elephant jokes. They're so stupid. They're all a bunch of anti jokes, and it's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
just love the anti joke. I think it's so funny. Okay, yeah,
See, he's giving away his weakness. He
Yep,
likes
yep.
anti-jokes.
Yep.
I do love
So,
a good
no
anti-joke.
uncle ones.
Carla, did you have any more?
I'm going to end on this. This is like,
Yeah. All right. Well, I felt like today was very enlightening and also unhinged.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So,
I think this is probably the best episode ever.
yeah, I think this was a really good episode.
It's gonna be
I'm
hella hard
excited
to edit. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, for sure.
Not
for
it.
sure. Not it.
You,
Nose
you got to do it. We put our fingers on our noses.
Oof.
just blame gay men.
Okay. All right. Do we have any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay. So, our next episode is Ariel's nonfiction pick, which is going to be the orthid Keef.
The orthodontist.
Okay. Our next episode is going to be Ariel's nonfiction pick, which is The Orchid Thief by Susan Orlean. Then we're doing... I'm so sorry, we're losing it. Okay. Then we're going to do a deep dive from me, which is The Initial Insult by Mindy McGinnis. You're going to have to get out of here, Carla. I can't read.
She's got the silent laughs.
And then we're going to do an interview with author Sophia Brown. And she is a children's author. She started writing books for her grandchildren, which is super amazing.
You guys gotta
Okay,
get yourself
yeah.
under control.
I'm crying. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's time for us to sign off. But before we go, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you.
Hey guys,
Because
ask me
we're
if I'm
too
a
busy
tree.
dying. Are you a tree?
No.